Tonight on Sports Saturday, Alabama attempts to clip the Golden Eagles' wings in the Tide's final non-conference tune-up.
And I hug them and love them as much as I can.
There's no more quarterback controversy as Blake does it all. We have the highlights. Plus, the Dogs and Cocks go down to the wire, and it was this close.
It was very close, that's all I can say.
So grab a seat. We're swaying to our own beat. It's Sports Saturday, and we're blasting off right now.
Turn down for what?
From the campus of the University of Alabama, live sports from Alabama's sports team. This is WVUA Sports.
Hey, welcome in everybody. We get started with a great performance from Kenyon the Great, or Drake the Great. Kenyon Drake scores 3 touchdowns tonight, 9 touches. I don't know the math on that, but I do know that that is pretty good as the Tide rolls on over the Golden Eagles, 52-12. And welcome in to Sports Saturday, everybody. I'm BJ Millican. I'm with you for the next 15 minutes breaking down that game and checking in on other SEC, local, and national games. We're going to start with the Tide trying to push their home winning streak to 10. Derek Thomas's mother holds up Derek's Hall of Fame plaque. Edith Morgan, great thing for her. That was a great honor. Southern Miss, though, ends their first drive. They were on the board first. 33-yard field goal from Corey Acosta. Bama came out a little flat in this one, but the Tide strikes back. Blake Sims buys some time, finds who else? Amari Cooper. He goes 22 yards on that hookup. Bama up 7-3. Sims, though, he's good at this too. Improvisation, I think's the right word. 3-yard scramble right towards our cameras. 9:32 left in the second. 4 now. Over just 5 minutes left in the third. I'm saying lots of numbers. Brian Vogler catches the first touchdown pass to a tight end. How about that? Big time for him. 35-9, Bama rolling now. And it gets worse when Kenyon Drake, we just saw this, he tears through the D, 29 yards, finished with 3 touchdowns. And then even Tyron Jones gets into the action late. Little garbage time score here, 16 seconds left. Bama wins big, 52-12. Here's Nick Saban after the big win.
Good week of practice, but it just seemed like the longer we waited to play today, the little more casual everybody got. But I was really proud of the way, our team responded, especially in the second half. I thought we, put together 2 or 3 really good drives to start out the second half. And, defensively, I thought we played well in the game. I just thought that, we gave up a few plays that those are the kind of plays that we're going to need to make in the future that turn out to be sort of explosive plays that we're in pretty good position on, and we need to try to make some of those plays.
There you go. Here's some of those numbers. 12 of 17 for Blake Sims, 168 yards. Really in control of this game. Jacob Coker didn't come in until late in the second half. Rushing, he also did it all on the ground, 46 yards and a touchdown. Amari Cooper continues to have his bonkers season. 8 receptions, 135 yards. And he had that at the beginning of the third quarter, so he kind of slacked off. The offense, 547 big yards and some good balance. Gary Harris and Rodney Orr were over there as well, and they kind of had their own take on this game. Another win for the Crimson Tide, guys.
Thank you so much, BJ. Gary Harris along with Rodney Orr from TiderInsider.com and Tider Insider TV. Alabama wins 52-12. Obviously, still some things that Alabama needs to clean up heading into SEC play next week against Florida. But let's start with the good news. 3 games this year, 3 games over 500 yards in total offense, playing 2 quarterbacks.
Yep, that's true. And 3 games, and they've haven't given up a touchdown since the first game defensively. On the flip side of that, I know a lot of people, Gary, complaining, looking at TiderInsider.com about the defense tonight. But again, they didn't give up a touchdown. They were 3 of 13 on third down conversion, so they did really well. Coach Saban did say, of course, they've got to tighten up some things in the secondary. They've gotten a little thin with some injuries back at the safety with Jarek Williams out now. Nick Perry had that hit tonight that put him out for the first half of next game. So, again, I think when you look at it, though, offensively, defensively, there are a lot of bright spots.
Offensively, Amari Cooper continues to be a beast. I know they want to get some other guys involved in the passing game. Vogler did catch a touchdown. Saban, though, afterwards mentioned the inside running game. It needs to be better.
Yeah, I think so, Gary. And again, you're talking about a new guard there with Leon Brown, and he and Shank Taylor have kind of been going back and forth at that right guard spot. You know, so they have had a little bit of trouble running inside. I know that they want to improve that. Coach Saban, as you mentioned, did address that. But I thought tonight, really one thing I saw was when they started pulling the linemen out and they started running to the perimeter, to the outside, those linemen were really getting out there. They had a lot of running space on the outside, so they ran the ball really effectively outside. But again, you know, I know that they love to run it between the tackles. They've got to improve that some.
Bama wins at 52-12, 3-0, but next week it's SEC play. Florida comes in here to Bryant-Denny Stadium at 2:30 on Saturday afternoon. For Rodney Orr, I'm Gary Harris. BJ, back to you.
Thanks, guys. That'll be a big one for sure. Coming up next, we're going to break down this game a little bit more. The defense came out a little lackluster, but hear what the players have to say about that defensive performance coming up. We're coming back also with a play of the day. It's big-time stuff coming up on Sports Saturday. It's coming up, so stick around. We'll be right back. We are back with our play of the day from Oregon's Marcus Mariota. He is good, and watch him. He's getting around. He's going vertical, as in Superman, as in wow. The Ducks, look at him go. Cheerleaders love it too. Big win over Wyoming today. 4 total touchdowns for Super Marcus, as I'm going to call him. Hey, the Alabama defense gave up a 10-play, 59-yard drive to USM on their opening drive of the game, but really tightened up after that. For the second consecutive game, the Crimson Tide did not give up a touchdown, holding the Golden Eagles to 4 field goals, 263 yards of total offense. While they only sacked Nick Mullins one time, they constantly harassed the sophomore from Spain Park. Lineman Davlin Tomlinson told us after a sluggish start, the D really got it together.
When we first started off, I guess we were still sleeping. But after a while, we all just hit on our cleats and just had to man up. And in the second half, we just wanted to affect the quarterback and then so to slow down their offense and to affect their whole offense scheme. So I think we did that pretty good in the second half.
We picked up as the game went on. You definitely want to come and try from the beginning, set the tempo. And I think we picked it up as the game went on, but we got to come out, especially next week, with a good team coming in and set the tempo from the start.
There you go. Much more Tide reaction and video on WVUATV.com. Now on to the biggest game of the day in the SEC. So big, they waited for an hour and a half to start it. Yeah, another weather delay, but ultimately it was worth the wait. We're talking about South Carolina hosting Georgia. South Carolina trying to stay alive in the SEC. Each fourth quarter, back and forth they went until the Gamecocks' other back, that's Brandon Gone Wilds, 24 yards for the 38-28 lead. But the Dogs came right back. They had a chance to tie it, but Marshall Morgan misses the field goal. Here's the play of the game right here. Dylan Thompson on the 4th-and-1 gamble. Did he get it? Let's see. They're going to measure. It's that close. He did. South Carolina survives 38-35. Coach Spurrier was asked about that spot in the post game.
Did you get a chance to see that that spot on that play?
I saw it twice. What do you mean?
Well, I know you saw it, but
It was very close. That's all I can say. It was very close first time, very close second time, and you know, their guys were pointing that way, we were pointing that way, but I think it was leaning on it. Usually, if that nose is leaning on it, they give it to you.
There you go. Big win for the Gamecocks. To Lubbock, Arkansas invading Texas Tech. Check out Brandon Allen. Oh, running like someone set his truck on fire. He's going into the end zone, though. That gives the Hogs a 10-point lead. Don't go away yet, though. The Red Raiders come back in this one. Davis Webb to Jakeem Grant. Touchdown. Tech right back in it. But guess what? Arkansas is starting to look like big old Brett Bielema. Running tough. 438 rushing yards. 7 scores on the ground. The Hogs get a huge non-conference win, 49-28. LSU hosting Louisiana Monroe in Death Valley. And check out the tricky play here. Darrell Williams has the ball, but nobody knew it except him. 22 yards for the score. LSU kind of sleptwalk a little in this one, but not Leonard Fournette. The big freshman goes to work in the fourth quarter. Oops, nobody touches him. All the way down the field, 24 yards, no Heisman pose tonight. LSU wins 31-zip. The 20th ranked Missouri Tigers and their quarterback, Matty Mock, hosting UCF. He came in with 8 passing touchdowns in 2 games. Hey, let's do another one. He does a little running, little dancing shoes, scrambling. He's finding Jameer Hunt, 11-yard touchdown. Tight game, though, in this one until the second half. Mizzou Pulling away. Mock's going to find Bud Sasser. What a name. Sassy Pants Sasser. 4 touchdown passes for Mock. Leads the nation in that category. Tigers win big, 38-10. Speaking of winning big, Ole Miss hosting Louisiana Lafayette in Oxford. The Tide will be there in 3 weeks, but it's time for a little game of doctor, as in Dr. Bo. Go to work, operate. This one to Jalen Walton, 40 yards for the score. Dr. Bo definitely earned his name. He goes for the precision on this one. Into coverage, but Cody Core. Oh, Cody, 4 touchdown passes for Wallace. Rebs win big, 56-15. Let's take a look at that SEC scoreboard. Oklahoma up on Tennessee big late. That's no surprise. Vanderbilt gets a win over UMass. UMass missed a late kick in that one. Mississippi State wins Kentucky and Florida in overtime. Whoa. Don't change that channel, though. Texas A&M up on Rice 21-7 at the half. More Sports Saturday coming up. A couple of state scores to update you on, plus a couple of huge upsets in the top 25 world. Would the Hokies fall a week after an upset of their own? We'll find out coming up. Stay with us.
Defender.
Hey, if you missed this morning, this was on CTKO. You missed the beginning of the latest internet fad. It's pro throwing. There I am doing it. Tyrone was nice enough to be on our show this morning. We recreated the famous catch against Southern Miss. It's hashtag pro throwing. So we already caught one fan there doing it. So make sure whatever you do, go ahead and send us your version of pro throwing. We had a lot of fun with that. There were a lot of exciting games in college football today around the country. A couple of big-time upsets in the top 25. And who doesn't like upsets? I do. Shane Carden and East Carolina playing South Carolina close last week. This week, it's Virginia Tech in the crosshairs. The Pirates led all day, but the Hokies will not go down easy at home. Michael Brewer finds Cam Phillips. That ties the ball game up. But oh-ho, ahoy, here come the Pirates. Carden finds Cam worthy of a big-time gain all the way down to the 1, and that sets up, yep, he's pointing to himself. Carden sneaks it in. ECU, oh my, the fans are sad. 28-21, ECU gets the big win, the Fighting Ruffins. Louisville and Bobby Petrino going to be facing Virginia on the road. Well, we're going to look at East Carolina celebrating a little bit more. There's Ruffin McNeil right there. There's Bobby. Bobby and the Cardinals, they would take this one late. Up a touchdown, James Quick from Will Garner. That is going to give Louisville a lead. But ho-ho, Virginia, Ian Fry, the kick to win. It's good. That had about 3 minutes left, but they held on. Mike London, a happy camper, 23-21, and look at that. There is never anything better than seeing fans rush the field. Look at them go. That's kind of dangerous, so you don't want to recommend that for everybody. Here's a look at the state scoreboard. UAB with a huge win over Alabama A&M. They had a big crowd at that game, too. Alabama State takes care of Mississippi Valley State. And Troy, oh boy, Troy Trojans. What is wrong with them? Abilene Christian, I thought that was a high school. They're beating Troy in the fourth quarter, 31-28. Faulkner all over Union. And the Miles Golden Bears fall to West Georgia 30-6. One quick update on a high school score from today. This one was postponed from yesterday. Hillcrest 29, Selma 26 on that one. There you go. And you see the scores if you didn't catch them just a second ago. We've got a lot more good stuff that we're going to throw up on WVUATV.com, so make sure that you catch that. We're going to also have a lot of good stuff coming up on Tuesday night on Tider Insider TV with Rodney Orr and Gary Harris. We're going to recap the Southern Miss game and look ahead to the big one next week here at Bryant-Denny against Florida. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to leave you with some scenes from today's game against Southern Miss. So we'll see you next time. Good night.